Hello, Ray Phoenix here. Welcome to Let's Play Ratchet Deadlocked Part 8. We're finishing off this deadly ice planet that we've only been on for the last video or so. Yeah, this level's very short. And we're going to be doing the additional levels in the game, the additional challenges, which I have no idea if they're optional or not. I've never bothered to check. Even if they were optional, I'd still play them anyways. That's how I get the maximum amount of enjoyment out of these games, just from playing these additional missions, which allow us to earn extra bolts, which would in turn allow us to buy more weapons. And this mission is very friendly to our wallet because we don't have to buy any weapons or buy any ammo for weapons, because ammo and weapons are just given to us as we go through the level. We use up a weapon, just go pick up another one, and it's all full and doesn't charge us anything. Of course, the premise of this one is to screw down all those bolts, which is almost impossible to do without the robots, because you're just going to get killed. So let's let the robots do that, because the robots are, they deserve to get, they're nincompoops, they deserve to get bashed around or banged around, and they get incapacitated. You don't tell them to do anything, they get incapacitated every 5 frickin' seconds. So I think I deserve it to be the ones that tighten the bolts, that screw in the bolts. And once you screw in the bolts, they stay permanently screwed in. You don't have to solve them again or do anything with them again. So I guess that's a major plus. Otherwise, this level would have been pretty much nearly impossible. Just finding all these weapons lying around, these free weapons there. And the weapons respawn too after you get killed and have to attempt this level again. So failed attempts are really failed attempts, and depending on what you got done in the level with tightening the bolts. It also gives you points towards upgrading these weapons when you use them. This is a great level of play if you want to upgrade your weapons. It's also a great level of play if you want to upgrade your nanotech as well too. Then again, the same can be said for pretty much any other level in this game. Remember Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal? Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal had a level of Quados where you'd go there to grind for experience points. I don't know if getting more. I used to think getting more experience. You get more experience points if you use your wrench to kill enemies rather than using weapons. But I don't know if that's actually the case or not. I know it might be a myth. There's all sorts of myths related to gaming. I remember doing the Aquatos level, and my babysitter would come over, and she'd always want me to play Ratchet and Clank. And then I'd say, okay, let's go play the Aquatos level. That's a great level to grind and collect stuff and find all those sewer crystals. Most Ratchet and Clank games have at least one level, and then that's like that where you could go and grind for stuff. It's a great way to earn a lot of bolts and a lot of experience points and upgrades. But I don't think this game actually has a level like that. That's because this isn't really a Ratchet and Clank game. It's a Ratchet game. It's just Ratchet, no Clank. That's probably why they didn't include a level like that. The closest you could do to that in this game is just play the same missions, the same challenges over and over again. For some reason in this game, when you play a challenge again after you've completed it the first time around, you don't get as many bolts. I don't know why they did that, but they did. And there we go. I have to use the fusion rifle for its intended purpose for once, using it as a sniper rifle, which is something I very seldom do with the fusion rifle. I think we cleared off most of the enemies around here. So you got these nincompoop robots to go and try to screw that thing in there. But no, look, just as we walk up to them, more turrets are spawned, more enemies are spawned, and I don't have any weapons other than the Omni Wrench. This Megacorp looks like the Megacorp Omni Wrench. That's all I have to fight them off. It'd be even more challenging if they made a wrench only challenge that was like this. Imagine playing the whole game wrench only. Yeah, I salute anyone that knows how to do that. Now we're just going around, just mowing down for these enemies with this Vulcan cannon or whatever it's supposed to be called. This this Mac-goo, whatever you say, a Mac-goo. I can't really read the text very well from where I am. Just trying to read in the upper left-hand corner. Let's go with these robots trying to tighten the bolt again. Are they successful? Or are they just going to get incapacitated again? And more enemies just spawn in. This game likes to throw enemies at us. It's almost like in Bomb Jack where enemies just randomly show up at random times. It's almost impossible to fully, destroy all of them. And you can hide behind this wall and try to let the robots do their job. They're just going to keep getting incapacitated their weapons are pretty much useless. They're essentially like BB guns almost. Yeah, I'm actually using a BB gun just to do all of this. That's what they gave the robots in this game. It's like Seaman Vox intentionally gave us bad robots, so that way we would get killed or increase our chances of getting killed. So you could put Ratchet out of the galaxy, so you could further build up Ace Hardlight's image. And he probably purposely makes the game easy when Ace Hardlight plays these challenges, so Ace Hardlight seems like the greatest athlete in the entire galaxy. Even though we know Ace Hardlight's nothing but a fraud, he's even a worse fraud than Captain Quark. We're really gonna show him when we finally get to fight against Ace Hardlight. Well, I mean, they probably chose the name Ace because Auto Ace is one of the greatest hero names ever. Yeah, Ace might be one of the greatest hero names ever. But how good is that when the hero we gave it to completely sucks? He's not even really a hero at all. He's more of just some wannabe hotshot athlete than an actual hero. Ratchet's the true hero because even Clank saved the galaxy at least 3 times prior to the events of this game. They're the real heroes. I wonder if Ratchet and Clank are celebrated honored heroes in the Solana galaxy and the Bogon galaxy for them saving those galaxies from all sorts of threats. And we got that robot there to tighten that bolt. Then we have the heavy metal, heavily armored flaming wrench guy there. I mean, you just get killed in a few shots just by using the fusion rifle on him, which just got an upgrade too. It's now a V7 of V10. It's kind of insane to think that in the challenge mode they can get upgraded like up to 50 times. I wonder who chose those numbers. Did they just pick them out of a hat? Like where they got the serial numbers from for the different PlayStation systems, or the model numbers like SCHP 5440 or 1100 or something like that. Was there ever an SHP1 that was just one button? I wonder where they come up with those names and numbers from. I think there's only like one more so bolt thing left to tighten, and it's all right here. And I think all the other weapons in the game have spawned, this level has spawned in here too, so I'm gonna go and collect those weapons, and then pretty much focus my entire firepower on this one specific spot. More strategy in this game. It's even more strategy than I realized. People don't really consider this to be a strategy game. There definitely is a lot of strategy in this game. It definitely is filled with strategy and filled with... And there's like a meter in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen where when the robots kill enemies, it builds up. Once it fills up completely, you could press one of the D-pad buttons and it will allow the robots to send a bomb that pretty much nukes a lot of the screen. It destroys a lot of the enemies on the screen. If only they could have that right now so they could destroy this robot guy. I'm almost out of bomb blasts, and he's just way too powerful for them. His weapon is ill-equipped. It's like, man, these enemies are so strong. Like, look, I just used up my entire ammo collection, my entire supply of ammo on one of them. He's not even dead yet. All I have to do now, if I leave here, he's probably going to shoot me, or some other enemies are going to spawn in, and it's going to result in me getting killed. It's still pretty weak. Even though I got a few armor upgrades, we're still pathetically weak. Still get killed in like 2 or 3 hits. All I have to do now is just wait for these robots to go and just slowly peck away at this giant robot too. They might as well just be throwing water at him. Or maybe throwing, I don't know. Well, what else would be a funny thing to throw them? Apples? I think apples are an effective weapon. Kind of like when those executives in Japan suggested that Twisted Metal should just be a game where you shoot fruit and vegetables at other enemies and destroy them with that rather than missiles. It's kind of ironic considering how violent a lot of Japanese stuff is, and yet they thought American stuff was too dark or too extreme for their liking. We know Twisted Metal wasn't really that popular in Japan. Ratchet and Clank was really popular in Japan, though. This game is a little bit like Twisted Metal 4 from a very vague, broad, like similarities. It's also just a crazy battle game. There's all sorts of, where you get all sorts of bizarre weapons and all sorts of weapons in general. You get to drive different things, and you get to blast at different targets and destroy different enemies. It's just a mindless battle game, and that's kind of what they have in common. They're both just in Twisted Metal 4, just mindless battle games that are loaded with different types of weapons. There's a ranking system in both of them too. This game has a ranking system, I think, or you actually has when you're at the home world, you could just go and view like what your current stats are, where you currently rank among the other players. Ace Hardlight's gonna be like a top rated one a lot of the time. If you were other people have ranked in this game, it would also be like a ranking system for online play. This game does have online play. Never managed to make use of that. Never even really played online games at all, really, so you might be able to play an online game using NetPlay or something like that on an emulator. I know emulators do have NetPlay, supposedly. I don't know how it works. Never tried it before, never figured out how it works, but I know it does. There is like online play. It's starting to become a more common thing in this era in history, this era in gaming. Destroyed. This is like one of those on-the-rails target shooter things where for some reason the land stalker doesn't move around freely anymore like it did in the other missions. And now you have to hit those targets, destroy those targets by using the machine gun. Well, it's not a machine gun. It's like rapid fire laser gun and the plasma blast, whatever they're called. And there, we got the minimum required score to complete the mission. It's gonna sit back and crack open a non-alcoholic beer and watch me win this mission. And I won 6,000 bolts for that. Yeah, it's like, congratulations, you only won a few dollars. Don't spend it all in one place. Yeah, I don't think there is anything to buy for 6,000 bolts, other than just ammo. Well, I guess if it's ammo, then I guess that's a decent enough prize. And congratulations, you won some free ammo then. And this is another odd challenge where we're just getting random assortment of weapons. And it's only that Vulcan cannon, or whatever it's called, and that gun that's similar to the nitro launcher from Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal. We have a minute and a half to go kill 81 enemies. It's a speed challenge, a time challenge as well too. It's a timed random weapon, randomized weapon challenge. We should come up with a name for that random weapon randomizer challenge. I wonder if Ratchet and Clank randomizers exist. I think there is something like that actually. We killed nearly half of the enemies we need. So there we go. And the robots are helping us out too. And the robots are actually more effective in this level because pretty much all the enemies are throwing at us. There's those little weaklings we could easily kill with the Omni Wrench. I'm using the weapons instead because that's what we're expected to use. And it adds, upgrade points towards upgrading our weapons. And this weapon is like almost halfway to being fully upgraded. We've been using this weapon alive since the first level of the game. I wonder what happened if you didn't buy that weapon that was like the nitro launcher. What would it give you? Would it give you that weapon too, or just only let you have one weapon? I know Annihilation Nation, when it does the weapon randomizer challenges, it only gives you weapons that you currently have in your arsenal. And in theory, if you only have one weapon in your arsenal, it's going to make you use that one weapon for the entire thing. It's going to be like as if it switched to a different weapon, but it's just the same weapon. And it can even give you unlimited ammo too. Feels like a way to cheat the game to giving you so much ammo. And there, in Tomba's Blackjack, Tomba's science fiction Blackjack in the Tomba series that somehow ended up in this game, is now just got upgraded. And we can just really go and pound away at these enemies, like we're that kid at Walmart that didn't get that toy he wanted, just watching that banned episode of of Little Bill where he wanted to toy at Walmart. He kept banging his hands on the ground. That's what we're doing right now, only we're doing it on these robots. I wanted to leave a comment on that Little Bill video saying, oh yeah, I remember watching that episode. They just weren't allowed to put it on Nick Jr., so instead they put it on Adult Swim. Or maybe Nick at Night when George Lopez was performing with Dora the Explorer. That's an underrated comedy duo that we've never really seen anywhere before and probably will never get to see anywhere else again. Just mash these guys, bash them with this. I don't think it's called a blackjack. I think it's called some sort of plasma mace or something that I know. It's similar to the plasma whip from Ratchet and Clank going up your arsenal. It's really just a slightly better Omni Wrench, just using it so it's another weapon. And we just completed this challenge again, won 8,000 bolts. Yeah, the harder challenges make you seem to win less bolts, and the less challenging challenges make you win more bolts. We're just going to go head off to the next planet. That icy planet is cleared. So we're going to go to the next planet while we get an update from Vox News, Vox Sports, where those kids they're now going to be like talking about, oh, if we were at this challenge, we would be doing stuff like this. I'm like some hero with lasers, just walks around underwear. Yeah, put some pants on, maybe we'll consider hiring you for the next game. And I could squish this can. It's clearly not a can of Chinese Red Bull, because those cans are hard as hell. You'd break your fists if you tried squeezing those. But modern cans are flimsy, and they break easily. You just dent them on your side of your computer lightly by accident at dark in the nighttime, and they can just break and shatter into billions of little metal particles. And it's dark, so you're not going to see them, and you'll step on them. I hope you're wearing socks or shoes. He's just saying Ace Hardlight's underperforming or something like that, and Ratchet's like, doing overly well. He's going to start to get pissed about stuff. Like always, that Seaman Vox always hating everything, and it's his job to be pissed at stuff. And so we're off to the next planet. This next planet we'll see in the next video. We're going to be taking on challenges that are probably going to be just as harsh as the ones we saw on the ice planet. Ray Phoenix, signing out.